Iran's nuclear negotiating team returned to Tehran to a hero's welcome on Sunday, November the 24th, after clinching a deal with world powers in Geneva. The agreement, which curbs the Iranian nuclear program in exchange for initial sanctions relief, signals the start of a game-changing reconciliation that would reduce the risk of a wider Middle East war. Crowds gathered at Mehrabad Airport on Sunday evening, hailing Foreign Minister Mohammad Zarif as a hero and holding flags and flowers as well. No war, no sanctions, no insults, and no submission, they chanted. Some held aloft posters of President Hassan Rouhani, the architect of Iran's initiative in striking the deal. The agreement, which halts Iran's most sensitive nuclear activity, its higher-grade enrichment of uranium, was tailored as a package of confidence-building steps towards reducing decades of tension and ultimately creating a more stable, secure Middle East.
Security Council,
European Union Foreign Policy Chief Catherine Ashton, who's been coordinating diplomatic contacts with Iran on behalf of the major powers, said the accord created time and space for follow-up talks on a comprehensive solution to the dispute.
Well, this is a first step, but it's, as you will see, very much within the framework of looking for a comprehensive agreement. And there's no question that this is what we, the E3+3, want to achieve. It's also what I believe the government of Iran wishes to achieve. And so, as well as moving to implement this agreement, and it is an important first step, we will be moving towards the work that we need to do to reach that comprehensive agreement.
But Israel does not share this view.
This agreement has made the world a much more dangerous place. I know that many share the concern of Israel, especially in the region, and there's a reason for this. For years, the international community has demanded that Iran cease all uranium enrichment. Now, for the first time, the international community has formally consented that Iran continue its enrichment of uranium. And this is in direct contravention of UN Security Council resolutions.
However, Israel seems to be a lone voice in the wilderness.
As we go forward, the resolve of the United States will remain firm, as will our commitments to our friends and allies, particularly Israel and our Gulf partners, who have good reason to be skeptical about Iran's intentions. Ultimately, only diplomacy can bring about a durable solution to the challenge posed by Iran's nuclear program. As President and Commander-in-Chief, I will do what is necessary to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon.
It's a very important opportunity for the future, and I think it vindicates the policy of pressure through sanctions and diplomacy through negotiations.
According to the agreement, Iran has been committed to halting enrichment above 5% and neutralizing its stockpile of near 20% uranium by means of dilution or converting. Furthermore, Iran is not expected to install more centrifuges, halting work at its plutonium reactor at Arak, and allowing inspectors from the International Atomic Energy Agency daily access to its enrichment facilities at Natanz and Fordo.
Now an agreement might have been reached, but the United States and Iran are divided in the interpretation. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry said Iran's uranium enrichment program has not been entitled by Sunday's agreement. But the president of Iran, Hassan Rouhani, said the agreement did recognize the country's uranium enrichment program, and thus Fordo and Natanz plants will continue operation. Now, what is most interesting about this is that just a few hours before Iran signed the interim deal, I spoke to an analyst who was quite skeptical about the outcome of the talks, as he felt any agreement reached will be ambiguous in meaning. Welcome to Diplomatic Channel.
It's my pleasure to be here again.
Now, why is there a crisis over Iran's nuclear program? I mean, the country has denied that it is making nuclear bombs. So what's the fuss all about?
The fact is that the enriched uranium that Iran is using actually has some component that is capable of producing nuclear power. Now that's military nuclear, which of course we all know the devastating effect of such. And I don't think the world is quite much interested in people developing such, especially people that we know have the capability of using it either side. So I think to forestall such a thing, I think the views about it is well directed.
Well, but is it wrong for Iran to have a nuclear program? Is it actually wrong for the country to be enriching uranium, since they've said they want to use it to generate electricity?
Yeah, the problem here is that of trust. You see, even most of the countries that are blaming Iran or that are trying to restrict Iran or restrain Iran from having it, they have it. But you see, can we trust Iran with nuclear energy? And because if you look at the antecedent of Iran, knowing what Iran has posted of doing, know what Iran is, Iran's intention of acquiring it, and then knowing the people who are Iranians' enemies, which they have boasted of annihilating. So when you look at such things, you begin to wonder, even though this uranium enrichment is capable of producing both electricity and military weapon, so can we entrust it in the hand of Iran to do it? What about if Iran does it and converts it to the other side, which is negative, military, and is now becoming a threat to the world? So what will happen is a